Hey you guys, my name is She Moses. I am here to talk tonight about homelessness and how it has impacted millions of people throughout the world. One of the things that, we often think about when we think about homelessness is we see someone who happens to be on the side of the road, maybe someone who may be at a gas station, maybe somebody who's, just asking for assistance from different people. And sometimes, being homeless can be a really traumatic experience for an individual. And I know that there are people who may have never experienced what homelessness is about, but I do know what it's like to be homeless. Okay, so when I think about the homeless population and what I witnessed myself in the homeless population is that there are a lot of components when it comes to even getting processed into shelters, okay? So one of the things that I did have a personal experience with is mistreatment in homeless shelters. And I know that there are several people who have experienced this as well. In fact, millions of people. There are so many reviews and different things online on Google. If you Google different shelters, you'll see different responses of people who've actually been there in the shelter, share information about how difficult it was for them to be there and how much trauma it caused them to actually be in the shelter, vice versa of being on the streets, okay? So it is actually better, some people feel that it is better to live on the streets than to actually seek shelter. One of the reasons being is that there are a lot of employees, okay, who are hired in the homeless shelter process that are causing a lot of pain for people who are already experiencing certain things. And it's very disheartening to me, and it does affect everyone in such a negative way when we have people who are in a position of power, okay, and they don't feel the need to have compassion for those who are in trying times. So when we think about the homeless population, I notice that they are overflooded with trying to get people to come in and work. But I also notice this is that they just hire anyone. They don't really do much of a background and a research on the people that they are hiring. And when we say background and research, anybody can have a clean record, okay, and not have a heart. Anybody can have a bad record and have a heart. So I think that when we're dealing with society, that we need to find more people to work into the homeless population who has more compassion for the people, because you can have an education to be able to specialize in a certain field, but you don't have the proper heart to be able to work with the people. And that is what the Process Center is all about. The Process Center is not an organization that we are coming against the homeless system. We are not, in fact, coming against the homeless system at all, but we would like to improve it. We feel that a lot of people have been experiencing traumatic experiences, abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, exploitations, through to the people who are hired in these organizations, okay? And I know that when you are dealing with an organization, it can be difficult for you to speak up, but God has given all of us a voice, and I am the voice for the people who is going to speak up for what is right for the homeless population. I know that it's not going to be an easy ride, and it's not going to be easy for any of you guys to come forth with what it is that you all have experienced. But I want you to know this, that I have devoted my life to empowering and strengthening and making change inside of the homeless population. So the Lord has given me a word for each and every one of his children tonight. So I'm going to be reading from the book of Proverbs, okay? Proverbs 21. And we're going to be in verse 2 down to verse 4. Every way of a man is right in his own heart, but the Lord pondereth the hearts. To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. A high look and a proud heart, and the plowing of the wicked is sin. The Lord is saying tonight that we must have a heart for the people, that we must know that it is not easy for any one of us to lose our job or everything that we have in a split second. There are natural disasters that happen, deaths that happen in families. There are people who have lost so much, and it is easy for you to lose everything. So never think that it's impossible to be you. God bless you. Goodbye.